What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers Not Filters podcast, episode 135. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and tonight, fight me again. I'm drinking water again. Okay, I've had a long day.
Oh my god.
It'll make sense once we get to my weekly anecdote. All right, but I'm drinking water still. I promise I'll drink a beer next week. Probably.
Wow.
This is where I'm at right now.
Cross your heart, man.
It's a tradition, and you
getting
clearly
ridiculous.
don't respect it.
I'm sorry. I stuck my body more in this podcast.
Damn.
Hey, man.
Why?
What are you drinking, Joseph?
I'm Joseph, and I'm drinking New Belgium V2K IPA. It's another one of their
Wait, are you sure it's
Voodoo
not
Rangers?
Y2K?
That's what I thought it was when I bought it, but that is definitely a
That's
V.
definitely a V.
Yeah, interesting.
Version 2.
How
Yeah.
many Voodoo Rangers IPAs are there?
Too
I
many.
feel like we've
Well-
seen like 20 on this podcast.
Well, they're like all seasonal, like small batch things that they do. At least
Sure.
most of them are.
I just like try something else, like I'm sure they're all. I mean, some are better than others. We've learned on this podcast, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't know, try an ale or try a stout or something, mix it up a little bit.
Well, but that's the thing is like their Voodoo Ranger, like the standard Voodoo Ranger is an IPA.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Yeah,
they,
okay,
it's the equivalent of KBC fucking up, and it's like, well, it's already Widowmaker, so now it's this,
I guess it's the Voodoo Ranger like label underneath New Belgium.
Yeah, exactly. But this one is like guava, grapefruit, and something else. But yeah, very like tropical fruity flavors. It's pretty good.
Nice.
All right, well, I'm Gabe, and I'm not drinking water, but I may as well be because I have a Coors Light. And you might be
gosh.
and you guys might be like, Gabe, why are you drinking a Coors fucking Light? And I'll tell you why.
On deck.
It's free. Him and Nicole went to some get together and they like pushed a bunch of beer on them. So it's in the fridge. It's not good. But it's beer and it's
Yeah.
passable.
I was gonna roast you, but free. If it's free, I'll allow anything.
Everyone
Exactly.
knows the best beer is a free beer.
Exactly.
That's
Second
true.
only to a cold beer.
I like how I really subverted your expectations about the water thing. I could see you about ready to give me shit. I'm like, oh no.
I thought it was gonna be like a Labatt or something. It's like a PBR. It's a standard like light beer. I didn't think you were gonna go bottom of the barrel light beer
Yeah.
to a Coors Light.
Oh damn sure.
Free beer is free beer.
What do you got, Dayton, over there? Oh, you're hiding the label.
I'm
Keeping
hiding the
surprise.
label because this one is, I would say it's very outside of my normal drinking habits. It is cold brew coffee, pumpkin
it's this
nitro,
one.
imperial ale.
You snapped that beer to us, and Gabe
Yeah.
said it correctly, which is there's too many fucking labels on that thing. There's too many
There's
adjectives.
too much
know?
shit going on.
It's
Too much shit on me. That beer.
you might say that, but this thing tastes so fucking good.
I bet it
literally-
does, honestly.
It's literally like 8.5%, maybe 9%. Doesn't taste a freaking percent more than like 4. It's insane, and the fact that it's nitro is actually amazing. Like I really like nitro.
What's the
beers.
ratio of pumpkin spice to coffee flavors?
The pumpkin is honestly pretty mild.
Mm.
It's pretty coffee flavored. So we'll see
You don't
if I
mind
can.
that?
sleep
I
tonight.
never remember, Dave, because you don't drink coffee, but I always
Yeah, I
forget
thought
if
you
you actually
don't
like
like
coffee or
coffee.
not.
Oh, I don't go out of my way to drink coffee, but I'll drink it sometimes. Usually, if like I'm with somebody and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some coffee from like Dunkin' or something like that," I'll just be like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll drink some coffee right now." But I can never make myself go to Dunkin' by myself. I refuse to do that. I don't know
It's so
why.
close to your place though, man. It's so convenient.
I know, but that's part of the reason why. It's a slippery slope for me. The second that I start doing that, I'll just be like, oh, you know what? Oh, I can grab one on the way to work. Oh, I can grab one
Well,
for
that adds
at
up.
lunch. Like exactly.
See, at our work, we had like, especially with COVID, like they had to make coffee for us, and they like wouldn't let us touch it. So they like
Mhm.
give us coffee and like even wrote our names on it when it was just like 10 or 12 of us. But now it's like a shit show. You go there and no one's made the coffee, and we get there early, so it's like we gotta make the coffee, blah blah blah. So now Tim and I are like debating buying a nice coffee machine and or coffee maker, and we're just trying to like find a price point that we're comfortable with, and we just like keep adding features. Like, oh well, it's
Like-
gotta have this, it's gotta have that, and we're up to like $250 coffee makers.
What don't you just want drip coffee? Like you can buy a $20 fucking
We have a
switch it
Mr.
on
Coffee
drip
right now,
coffee. Yeah.
and that's what we make in the morning now because this last 2 weeks we've just been like making it ourselves. But we want an insulator, we want a programmer, we want it to be approved by the Coffee Federation or whatever the fuck it's
Why?
called. These are all important things, okay?
Is Tim's a nerd?
Because Tim's a nerd. He's hyping me up about it, and I'm like, fuck yeah, of course we need that.
I can only imagine this conversation. Tim like, hey, what about this thing? And Gabe's like, yeah, we need that too. And Tim's like on the Wikipedia page or
We
whatever.
were
like-
actually driving back from work talking about not wanting to make coffee. And I was like, the only feature I want is that I want it to be programmable. So I don't have to
Yeah.
do shit in the morning.
Yeah.
Because the one we have now isn't. And then Tim's just talking about these other features. Like, that makes sense. Like, yeah, we need this.
For
and we
drip
need
coffee. It's not like
that.
you're not making like lattes, right? You're straight up just wanting drip coffee.
Drip black coffee. That's all we drink.
Dude,
So-
all you need is programmable. That is the only feature you
Yeah,
need, and
I
that's a
know.
$30 coffee maker.
I know. He's been talking about buying it himself so he can take it if and when we move. And I'm just like, okay, you do it, I guess. Like,
I mean, if you want to hype him up and make him pay for it, and you could use it, I mean, that's totally fine.
well, he
You need
doesn't
to-
listen,
Win-win
but
right there.
that's kind of the plan is to hype him up, put him over the edge, and then I'll just buy a $30 one when I have him
Dude,
in place.
you need to say that you want even more features. See how many features you can get into this thing.
An automatic grinder, like you could get crazy with it.
What if it's also an espresso machine that can make cold foam? What is that?
So
Not?
I hyped him up to that. We were like getting hyped about this, and then he's almost like regressed the last few days. He just wants like the vase looking thing where you just like put
Oh,
the
the
little
carafe?
yeah.
Pour the water.
It's
into
literally
it.
pour over coffee is what they call it.
No, yeah, he's regressing too far, Gabe. You gotta,
And I'm
you gotta
like,
get him back.
I know, like, dude, stop being a hipster for one goddamn second. Buy the $200 one.
If you let him go too far hipster, he's turned to like French press, and now he's gonna
Yeah.
spend 30 minutes in the morning doing coffee.
Mhm.
It's just gonna be
Sure.
even worse.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I can push the needle back a little bit.
Oh my god.
I'll keep you updated next week.
Yeah, this is the most this thing I'm most excited about in my life right now is hearing the list of the top.
I'm sure it is.
All right, well, welcome back to the podcast, everyone. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on YouTube and podcast services. Please follow us on Instagram at ewfpodcast, and please follow us on Twitch. We're live right now at ewf_podcast, where we usually game once a week and usually record the podcast once a week. Sometimes that changes, but if you check in on a Monday or Thursday night, you'll probably see our faces, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, let's get into our weekly anecdotes. And you know what? I'm going to go first. I don't ever go first. I'm going first this week, okay? So I got
That's
stuff to say.
Kind of a bad host move, if you ask me.
Well, you know what? I got to be a bad host every once in a while. So I'll give you guys an option. I got good news, bad news, and neutral news.
Give me
Which
the
one do you want to go
bad.
first? You want the
Bad.
bad news?
Bad.
Okay. I've lived here for a little over a year. In that time, I've almost gotten in a car accident 4 times. All of them on the roundabout because people don't know how to fucking drive. And they don't know how a roundabout works. And there was 2 separate occasions of the same thing. So one of those happened today where I'm in the roundabout. And as you all know, if someone's in the roundabout, they have right of way. You got to yield to people already in the roundabout.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving. All right. I'm trying to take my big left turn. I'm on the inside lane. This
Is
old
it a
woman is
2-lane roundabout?
yeah, 2-lane roundabout. So if you're on the inside lane, you can either go straight or go left. If you're on the outside lane, you either go right or go straight. Doesn't seem that hard to me, but apparently people don't understand that. So I'm in the inside lane and I'm turning left, so I'm about to like exit and go straight. So here I'm coming along. This lady comes along, coming in like kind of hot but not super hot, and she's in like the right lane. So I'm like, oh, she's gonna like turn right, so like it'll be us coming in like that, and we won't hit each other. It'll be fine, right? She comes in, doesn't even look left, doesn't even glance in my direction, and just go straight. And I just slam on the brakes, and I almost T-boned her. And then she looks at me like, oh.
You
It's
didn't
like
use the horn, dude? Oh, I've been on that
I
shit.
was just like in reaction mode. It was just
To
like
me, that's my
brakes.
reaction. Like you cross me, you get the horn.
Sometimes that my horn reflex kicks in. This time I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, and I stopped, and then she looks at me like, "Oh, all right," and then she just kept going. I'm just like, "Fucking look at the goddamn roundabout before you hop in there." That's happened to me twice. And the other thing that's happened is I'm with another person, both entering at the same time, and I'm in the inside lane, and I'm gonna go straight, right? And the person next to me, they don't go right. So I'm like, "Oh, they're gonna go straight too," and we can go a little like, "Whoop, we're going straight together." We start to go straight, and the person on the outside's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go left." They're not allowed to go left in that lane. So they almost turn left into me. And it's like, and they honk at me. It's like, this is your problem. You are in the wrong lane. You
Yeah, you
cannot turn left
can't
in
go
that
left.
lane.
Yeah.
You can't, and it's just like, it's fucking infuriating. And there's a million roundabouts around campus. Y'all should know how to use these things by now. And this just keeps happening. So, anyway.
Yeah, I swear roundabouts turn people's brain into mush. They just straight
I know.
up don't. They just lose all motor function.
And what's funny, 'cause I love them. You get through stuff way faster.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, slow traffic is way better, but people just do not get it.
And
Yesterday
they're
I
pretty
was
fun on
driving.
motorcycles.
Somebody fucking stopped at a roundabout when they like clearly could have kept going, and it's like, you see the big triangle that says fucking yield.
Yeah.
Come on, just keep going.
I'm just asking you to glance left before you hop in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, neutral news. This last weekend, Alyssa had some high school friends come to visit, and we hung out. And over quarantine, it's her high school friend and her husband. They got really into Magic: The Gathering, just like because they were bored and they decided to get into it. And so they brought some cards to like teach us to play. And I'm like, yeah, I've like played Hearthstone and stuff. Like, I'm sure this will be good. So I learned how to play, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty fun. Then I'm like, there's the online version of Magic. I'll just give it a download, Arena. I'll just give it a download and see, I can't stop playing this game. I've played it every day.
Oh, no.
They keep giving me cards for free.
That's the bad news.
I mean, I don't know how long I'll stick with it, if I'm being honest, is because
Yeah.
the sheer number of cards is so much higher than like Hearthstone or like any other card game I've played. It's just like a lot. Because they used to play Magic back in the day, right?
Well, I
Remember,
mean,
right?
not a lot. I mean, like, we played for, like, a few
We
months.
played a little bit in the dorms, like a month or two.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, because that's when I got the pull that was, like, $100 card.
We sold a card and then bought more cards with the card.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't really see myself getting into like the physical cards ever, just because money. But I don't know. I might stick around with the online version for a little bit. It's a cool game. There are things that I like better in Hearthstone, but
Yeah.
anyway.
It's definitely, it can be expensive, and like there's so many cards it's hard to keep track of, so you don't know like what the meta is or like what the card does, and there's a lot of reading.
Well, and just like a quick example, Magic releases 4 sets a year, and each set has 270 cards in it.
Yeah.
Hearthstone releases 3 a year, and they each have 120. It's just like that is too many goddamn cards to keep track of. Yeah. Anyway, here's the good news, and this is my little story for the day, and the reason I'm drinking water tonight. So, for the past couple weeks, I've been loosely trying to get a PS5 because I'm like, I'm gonna want one eventually. And if I try to get one in the holiday season, it's not gonna happen. Like the scalpers are they're already bad. They're gonna be so much worse in the holiday season. Like it's not gonna be possible to get one. So I'm like, this is kind of like the last month where it's gonna be possible to get one. So I've been following people on Twitter, like trying to keep track of shit. And there are rumors recently that Best Buy hasn't had a drop in forever because they're like hoarding stock to do like a massive drop, right? So I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. This looks promising, right? Then it's like, okay, it's gonna be on Thursday. I'm like, okay. And everyone's saying, oh, it's gonna be an online thing, but you have to like you go to the website at the time and then you just like pick up in store. So you have to actually go to the store to get it to try to, make the scalpers not be interested. Like, okay, I can do that. But then on Wednesday, the day before, everyone's saying, no, it's going to be a wait outside in a line event, like back in the old days, where you'd get up early and wait outside the store for hours before it opens. And I'm like, okay, is that true or not? And no one could really confirm it. And like Best Buy hadn't confirmed. It was like 4 p.m. and Best Buy hadn't confirmed it yet. It's like, what the fuck's going on? So I had to go to Target anyway. So I'm like, I'll just stop in Best Buy and they ask somebody who works there, what's going on, right? So I roll up there at like 4 p.m. I walk in, I look around, and I'm like, hey, talk to somebody. Let me ask you a question. you know anything about a PS5 drop tomorrow? And he's like, I don't know. Don't really know anything. Uh, we open at 10. We might open earlier tomorrow. I don't know. And I'm like, there's
He
something going
knows.
on. You know something.
And then
You know
he's like,
something.
but if I did know something,
He's like, I'm new here. Like I'm like, okay, something's going on. And then literally, I left the store, got in my car, drove to Target. By the time I got to Target, I left my phone. Best Buy website had announced like, yep, tomorrow morning, in store, event only. You got to be there. You get a ticket in the morning, and you know, if you're there early enough and you're in high enough place in line, you'll get a console. I'm like, all right. Now the question is, do I want to get up fucking early in the morning and go wait in line? So I tried to listen about it. I thought about it. I'm like, okay, they open at 7:30, or they're giving out tickets at 7:30. If I leave my house at like 6 a.m., get to like 6:15, wait like an hour and a half ish, I'd be even if I did get one, that wouldn't be that bad of an investment, you know. So this morning, so I went to bed at like 12:30 last night. Not my best move. Get up at like 5:45 this morning. I'm running about 5 hours of sleep, and just put some clothes on, put my glasses on, and just get my ass over there. And I roll up and there's already like I counted as I walked. There was 55, 60 people in line. So I'm like,
oh my
okay,
God.
this is gonna be close because the reports I was seeing online is like Best Buy's getting like 50-ish play PS5s, but it was like they're gonna get some PS5s, PS5 digitals, and some Xboxes. So like I still had a chance, right? But I was very happy because I was ready to just like sit in the cold with like headphones for like an hour and a half, you know, and I had a snack. I got prepared for that, but I got in line and the guys right in front of me were a bunch of college students, and we ended up just like talking the whole time, and it was super fun and chill. They're just like some undergrads. There was two seniors and a freshman. Yeah, it was a good time. We talked about video games and just random shit for an hour and a half, which was nice. And then they open up, time rolls around, and they start walking through the line, handing out tickets. We're trying to scope it out, you know, like, oh, how many are left? And baby, we got one. I got a digital PS5, and there was still like I was the 20th person to get a digital PS5, and there was still I think like 15 left in the stack. And then the three guys from me all got Xboxes, so I think they had like 50 disc PS5s, like 40-ish digitals, and like 50 Xboxes. Like they had the stock. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, and there were people at the back line who didn't get anything because like the line just kept getting fucking longer. I think by the time they opened, there was probably 200 people in line,
Oh,
uh,
jeez.
which is kind of crazy. But yeah, and this had to wait for another half hour for the store to open at 8, and then got in, got the PS5, and got out of there. And I never took a nap today, which I'm surprised. I normally nap at some point during the day, so I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little tired right now. My body's a little fucked up. I don't know if you guys remember, like, you know what I'm talking about, where if you ever like sleep over at a friend's house or you don't sleep well, or I guess if
Mm-hmm.
you're drinking, and you don't sleep well, and you wake up the next day and you're like, my body just is not, we're not at 100% right now. Stomach's not feeling great. I was super dehydrated. But you know what? I secured the bag, so we're good.
Big
Not
man
worried
has
about
the
that.
rock.
Yeah, but it was actually it was fun. It was nice to be able to talk to some people and just like hang out for a bit. I was educating them about the video game industry stuff because like I know a lot. They like do some stuff and not everything. And like I had a spreadsheet I found on Twitter, people like updating the people online across the country, all the Best Buys and all the and like the stocks they knew about. And I'm like, okay, look at these numbers. Like we're probably here in this, and it was good. It was a good
This
time.
is
So.
dude, they probably went back to like their friends and like, dude, we talked to this crazy fucking bastard in line. He was
couldn't
he was
stop
mapping
showing
out
us spreadsheets.
nationwide spreadsheet on
It was like
PS5.
seven
He was a
7 a.m.
grad student like 25 times. I get it.
It was like 7 a.m. We were still drunk from the night before. Like,
Dude,
Yeah.
one of the
fuck.
guys was like, "Yeah, I was up till like 1 a.m. last night, and I got an exam at 8 p.m. tonight. I got to study for after this." I'm like, "All right, good luck, dude." He's an ME. I'm like, "All right." He was taking the Controls 1 exam, and I'm like, "Good luck, my guy. That does not sound fun."
It's not.
So Jacob, what games are you most excited to play?
So recently, I've been really wanting to play Ghost of Tsushima,
Mm-hmm.
which is like the samurai Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
I really want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales. Looks
Mm-hmm.
hot. And then probably Final Fantasy VII Remake. That didn't come out to PC yet, so
Interesting.
digging that. But I built up a nice little wish list on my PlayStation. I haven't bought anything yet because all the new games are $70 now, which is like
Oh, really?
tough pill to swallow. Yeah, the first party games are $70. So I might wait a little bit. I got games to play on my PC, but it does come with Astro's Playroom for free, which is essentially just like a tech demo showing like how cool the controller is.
Yeah.
And it's a fun time. It's a fun little 3D platform. I played that today, and it was cool. So yeah, I'm just happy to have it, and I could just sit on it now for a bit and don't have to worry about it anymore. So yeah.
Surprised you don't have it sitting up on like
Yeah, like it's
your
not
coffee
visible.
table behind you is like,
Yeah.
look
You're
at
not
me.
Well,
hugging it.
okay, so this thing, I mean, I knew when it came out, I saw the specs. Like, it's big. It's big and it's fucking heavy. This is a chonk, dude. This is a chonky piece of machinery. And like it barely fits in my TV stand. I don't know if you can see it
Oh
down there.
yeah.
Yeah. Gotta wait for the PS5 Slim, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, this thing is like heavy as shit. Like I'm just happy it fit in there and it's all good. And the controller's really cool. So yeah, I'm mainly just happy I got it before holiday season because that's gonna be an absolute shit show. So
Definitely.
yeah, it was good. But yeah, what happened with you guys this week, Gabe? Tell me about what's going on with you.
Oh man, work's been rough. Busy.
Yeah, I feel like last week you were on a high from work. I feel like things were going good last week.
Yeah, and then I thought I figured everything out, and then I had this big review on Monday, and I got another person reviews it, and you get like fail, pass, or pass pending, which is like a few things can be changed.
Mhm.
I got my first fail, because an issue I thought I had solved manifested itself from the fucking ashes during the review, and
Oh
I've
man.
been going insane trying to solve it. You don't even know the people that have got involved. At this point, like we're going to the manufacturer and being like, fucking help us because we can't figure it out.
Is it like
Uh,
so bad that it's like not even your fault anymore?
at this point, it might be a bug in the operating system that other people haven't even seen yet. So yes,
Okay.
But-
I mean that's good. I mean
That's
yeah, 'cause
pretty
it's gonna be
sick.
bad. You hope
it's a
not
little
bad.
there's some vindication with that, but like the extent of the minor things that have gone wrong to this is unfucking believable. Like it's just one thing after another, and I was like Monday, I'm like I'm done. Thank God. And, like that's probably you saw me on Thursday. I was like at the high, like it's over, and it's just one more fucking thing, and it's just like I'm just sick of it.
Yeah.
But besides that, I joined a soccer league. I had my first game last night at 9 p.m., which was late.
Mm.
It was fun to get to play soccer again and meet some new people. Got a
What's
couple.
what's your nickname that you got given?
Oh yeah, I played. My buddy let me sub for one of his teams at Ladonia, which you've been there before, Jacob. We went there together. It is a brewery slash. They have a small 3v3 like
Oh
soccer.
yeah. The place is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. But the ref started calling me Quicksilver for my hair, which I absolutely chuckled at and thought it was hilarious. And then yesterday when I was meeting because I signed up as like a free agent or whatever, so I didn't know any of these people, and they're like, after maybe like 2 or 3 minutes of talking, they're like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, I'm 23. And like, oh, I couldn't tell. I'm like, because of the gray hair. And like, yeah, I didn't want to say it because we just met. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you looked. I couldn't tell if you were like 28 or like early 20s. Thanks.
At least that was the range he gave. At least it
Yeah.
wasn't like I could tell if we were 23 or 33. It's like
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
all right.
Uh,
Okay, sir.
but the game went well. I forgot what it's like to get pissed at refs. They're officiated. So that was fun to remember.
Does
Oh, yeah,
your time reffing at Tech give you any sympathy?
not with this guy. Nah. This this guy was very much like, you're wrong. Like I guess you kind of have to be a little bit
Yeah.
as a ref. But like he called 2 calls against us right back to back that were honestly bullshit. And they gave him a goal essentially. Like one of them, our guy like tripped in the box, like he was falling over. Nobody was around him. He's like slide tackle, shot in the box, and they scored. And it's like, okay, fuck you. Like he wasn't like he clearly wasn't trying to slide tackle. And two, he fucking tripped. Like give him a break. But I didn't want to be that guy that's like immediately like, yeah, fuck the refs as playing a co-ed league. But honestly, it was fun. I got a couple goals, which is cool. Hopefully, they wanted to do like half off apps afterwards. I'm like, dude, I'm going to bed. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I go to bed at 10 o'clock. So I have a 30-minute drive. I'm piecing the fuck out. But
Gabe, you know what they say though? Play hard, party harder.
not at Applebee's, dude.
Dude, get some dollar margaritas.
They were talking about that. I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. But next
Low
week, my
in
game's
sugar.
at a more reasonable time, so maybe do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just fun to play again. You know?
Dollar marks at Applebee's always sounds good. It never is good.
Yeah, and that's
They're like
just
half sugar.
hangover fuel. Yeah. I'm just so tired though, because like I went to the gym, then I played the game, and then like I was thinking I was gonna coast this morning because I thought I'd fixed the issue yesterday, and then it fucking manifested again like a phoenix, and I just mentally draining, so I'm toast.
Yeah.
Brain dead. So
I got you there. Dayton, what about you?
Really nothing that big. I started a dodgeball league, mainly just because it's like a reason to hang out with my friends. Perfect
you're
5 out of
running all
10.
fours.
No.
I don't know why, but I imagine you playing dodgeball on all fours.
Okay.
I could see it. I could see it.
How does one
Like-
just start a dodgeball league? Is this like
Well,
a
no, like I started
community
playing in one.
sanctioned thing?
No, it's through my work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought you
through my work.
said you started a dodgeball league. Like you
Well-
yourself organize an entire dodgeball league? Okay.
I guess I mean like I started playing in a dodgeball league.
Gotcha.
But
Okay, it makes a lot more sense.
yeah, it's like right now we are one of the 3 teams that are fully defeated.
Yes.
And
Where's the weakness in your game? Is it the throwing? Is it the catching? What's
um,
going wrong?
honestly, like I don't even know. I don't know anything about dodgeball. So
Okay. I remember
Watch
us
the movie.
at Sky Zone, Dayton. You were just hucking balls at those kids.
yeah, sadly these people are a little bit more they're a little bit more competent than
Yeah.
and
then
then
5-year-old
small
small children.
Yeah.
On trampolines.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm anticipating that we'll get a little bit better as the season goes on. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care too much about it because right now I'm in like freaking neck deep into my most recent running plan. So
Right.
I don't really care. Just an excuse.
Have you done
to-
another how should we call it? Test the break or another mile run just to see how fast you've gotten?
No.
Okay.
But the thing on my watch, right? It like estimates like how fast my times are. It's been dropping like crazy recently. So I don't know. That's a pretty good sign.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Looks like we lost Gabe again.
Yep.
Gabe's computer took another
Yeah,
shit.
he sent a message in the Snapchat.
Glad we got his little piece in first, but hopefully he comes back. But Joseph, tell me about your week.
So actually one thing Gabe didn't mention that we went to see a local Minnesotan band play at a bar on Friday night called the Gully Boys.
Okay.
And they were a blast. So they did like it was an EP release show that they did like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the opener for them was the Shackletons, who you might know, Jacob, as the band that plays Minnesota Girls.
Okay.
I've
I've probably heard that song in my life, but I can't think of it right now.
Anyway, they're like I don't know, rock. I don't know. They did a lot of bluesy stuff too. I actually really liked them. I thought they were a lot they're better than I was expecting. But the Gully Boys was fun. They what did they do? Oh, they had like these crowns that they were all wearing, but one of
Okay.
them didn't fit, so they're like, "Hey, does anyone want this?" And I was like front row, and me being 6'1", it's like, "Yeah, man!" And so like, "Here you go," and they threw it at me, and so I wore this like fucking. I got it sitting back there, it was just a fucking crown, and I got a picture with them at the end, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
And then we were just hanging out at this bar until like 2 a.m. And then when we got home, We didn't leave. Gabe and I did not leave the house all day. We
I
were
was
fucking
so
dead.
hungover, dude.
It
Gabe, is
was
your camera working?
miserable.
Nope, it's broken.
That's
Okay.
fine. You can just say on audio for the rest of it.
The only thing is then it kind of Dayton's gonna have to switch the names. But either way, it was the concert was fun. The next day was not. That was the worst hangover I've had in a long time.
Dude,
Was it just at like a local bar?
Yeah, it was Mortimer's. It's in Uptown.
Okay.
It was a cool little bar. I really liked it. Uh, I went up to the bartender and I was like, "Can I get what's your cheapest beer?" And he kind of looked at me and goes, "I don't think I've ever had anyone ask me that before." I'm like, "I feel like that's a staple question, but go
Yeah.
on." And he like looked on the list and he goes, "Oh shit, yeah, we got hams for 450 or
$4.50
or
for
like a-
hams.
for a tall boy or a draft for $4." And I was like, "So it's the same amount of beer, but it's in a cup, so it's 50 cents cheaper?" And he goes, "Oh no, it's not a full pint." I was like, "Well, fuck that. Give me the tall boy."
What kind of racket are they running at this bar?
I know. But anyway, so I gave him my card and he goes, "Oh, we got a limit. It's like $10." I was like, fuck it. Can you do a tab?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So I get a tab and I go up to get another beer. The man does not even look at me. All right, when I come back, I set my empty cup. A guy walks past and just places another hams, and then I see him go on the computer and type it in. And I was like, "This is a cool bar."
We had
I
a
didn't
rough
even have to,
start, but he got your number pretty quick.
I was
Yeah.
so goddamn hungover the next day. You have no idea. I remember like at 2:30, I was like, I need to do this more. This is fantastic. And then the next morning, I was like, I should never do this again.
Yeah, it's the classic of never drinking ever again.
This is the
Hangover.
worst.
Mhm.
Now, I need to
quoted
ask a quick question about the
Dayton.
Shackletons.
Okay.
Now, but I need you to remind me something first. Back when we were at Tech, we went to hockey games,
Yes.
and there was the song, the Zamboni song, right? That
Yeah.
was played. Who was the band that sang that?
Fuck if I
They
know.
had,
I don't.
like,
I
a-
think it was a
a
guy's
weird
name.
name.
It was a
that?
guy's name.
The
I
Go
thought.
Daddies or some shit.
Let's
It
say
might
it's the
have been.
GoDaddies. How similar are the Shackletons to the GoDaddies? If you
Not
had
at
to,
all.
okay.
No.
The
No.
Shackletons was like
No.
indie punk rock, not
I wouldn't even
country.
punk rock.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe. I don't know. They were more bluesy in my opinion. But
Okay. Because I guess when you said Minnesota Girls, I'm assuming that's like a old Minnesota song, similar to the Zamboni song.
no,
But I went
it's
on a journey and it didn't pay off. So, let's move back in.
it's
The About
But anyway.
says they are a post-punk band from Pennsylvania.
Alright. There you go.
the Shackletons are from Pennsylvania.
I guess so.
Huh.
Like Minnesota Girls, apparently.
Either way.
Joseph, I think it's time to go through the cast list.
Wait, hold
you have
on.
anything first?
I have
Sorry.
another important anecdote. I know that
Okay.
one went a little long. I officially have gotten a haircut since you cut
Ooh.
my hair, Jacob. It's hard to
That's
tell.
big
I got
news.
like maybe 2 or 3 inches cut off. But I did get a haircut because I've got a family photo next weekend, and my mom was going to be very upset if I showed up with long or like uncut hair,
Unkempt hair.
unkempt hair.
So that was your first haircut in 5 months?
Like a year,
No,
wasn't it?
since you cut
Oh,
my
a year.
hair
A year and 5 months.
a year and 5 months.
Yes. Okay. I was counting from May, and I'm like, 5. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, you're right. It's been a year and 5 months. Jesus
A
fucking
year and
Christ.
5 months. And she's like, what are we doing here? I'm like, listen, it's been a long time since I've got my hair cut. I just wanted to look like I just didn't stop getting my hair cut one day and then it led up to today. Like I just wanted to look purposeful. And she
Wait,
goes,
I have a
I get what you're
question.
saying.
Did you go to
Yeah.
the barber Sharp again?
No.
Oh.
No, I went to like an actual like salon.
Salon.
Ooh,
Yeah.
a salon.
Yeah.
You should just
Um,
told her, I need my mom not to be mad at me. Give
Well,
me a
that's what I
haircut, my
kind of
mom
said.
isn't mad at me.
I was like, yeah, I've got a family photo coming up. Like, I want it to look like on purpose, and like passable. And she's like, okay, I see what you're saying.
That's really good.
But the lady was pretty cool. She snowboards, so we were talking about that.
Mm,
Um, Alyssa recommended. That's where Alyssa's been getting her haircut recently, so she recommended her to me. So
very
yeah.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Gabe, I need you to pay attention because I'm about to blow your goddamn mind.
I'm still upset about my computer.
Don't worry about it. You're back. As long as you can hear the words that are about to come in my mouth,
I
that's all that
can.
matters. Okay.
Uh,
So
is this the
today,
fucking Nintendo Direct thing?
yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
today it was recorded September 23rd. There was a Nintendo Direct today, which is a Nintendo does it every once in a while. It's like a video package where they announce a bunch of games or give updates on games, and it's like, here's what we're coming out with soon. Near the end of this presentation, they're like, hey, remember like 3 years ago when we announced that Illumination, the studio that makes Despicable Me and Minions, is making a Mario movie, like an animated Mario movie with that animation style, supposedly. Here's the cast list for everyone who's be playing the main characters as a little treat for you, okay? And Dayton, I know you're not the best with actors, but I still think you're gonna get a reaction out of this, okay?
His
Okay.
veins about to bulge. I can see it.
Mario, played by Chris Pratt.
What?
Is he the guy from
Also
Guardians of
known-
the Galaxy?
Yes, he
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
Dayton.
he's Star-Lord.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's also in Jurassic World.
Why didn't they use the voice actor who already does in Mario?
So he's in the
Just wait.
movie.
He is
Yeah,
part
we'll
of
get
the
to that. We'll
movie.
get to that. Okay, so I'm just so Chris Pratt is Mario. Okay, picture that in your goddamn heads. Okay, Peach, Anya Taylor-Joy,
I don't know what that is.
Queen's Gambit, main character.
Oh, okay.
Now, when I'm not, that one's fine. That's definitely not the most surprising one in this list.
Luigi is
Luigi.
top tier.
Luigi, Charlie Day, from It's Always Sunny in
what?
Philadelphia.
Oh. Wait, he's the guy who has like the board meme, right? Like,
Yes.
Yes.
okay.
He's
Who
played
plays
Luigi.
Charlie in Always Sunny.
Bowser, played by Jack Black.
That one I think is going to be good. That one
I love Jack Black.
I think Jack Black is fantastic. I think he'll be a good Bowser.
I want to know how much dialogue they're actually gonna have.
Apparently,
Like,
a lot.
They
He
said
said
it was
a lot.
very dialogue heavy.
This isn't gonna be like it's a me. It's like this is a straight up like fully voice acted movie with these
Dude,
characters.
I thought it was gonna be more of a show don't tell type of a deal.
No, they're
No, I
going
think
hard,
There's a
and
lot
we're not
of
done
those.
yet. We're not done yet.
It gets
Toad.
better.
Toad, by Keegan Michael Key from Key and Peele.
Oh my god.
Wait, is he the tall
And you
one
know
or
what?
the short one?
The tall
The
one.
tall one.
Bald one, bald.
Uh-huh.
And he's a comedic actor. I could see him doing a Toad voice, but I don't really want to imagine it, for being honest. Donkey Kong, okay? Seth Rogen.
Wait,
Fucking hucking coconuts around and shit.
Oh my god.
And then Cranky Kong is Fred Armisen from
Yeah,
Portlandia. He's in
SNL.
SNL.
Yeah.
And then I don't know who Kevin Michael Richardson is. He's playing Kamek or Comic. And
Yeah, I
Sebastian
recognize him.
Maniscalco is Spike. I don't know who that is either. But then the original voice of Mario, Charles Martinet,
Yeah.
is going to be, he's just cameoing in random characters. Like, look out for surprise cameos from the original voice actor for Mario. It's like, just make him Mario. What?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like it's almost a disservice. My man's has been the voice of Mario for like 20 years.
More than that. Probably like 40.
I think he's like the original. Like as soon
Well,
as
it
they
was
had voices for him.
N64 is the first time.
That's a
they
good
had
point.
voice.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, decades. Like, literal decades.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
And then they're like, "Oh, but we got Chris Pratt on the phone. Sorry, buddy." But
it's
yeah,
just
that kind of sense.
baffling. Like, I feel like
Maybe he didn't
I feel like
want
they're
to,
just
though.
trying to appeal to like Western audiences, or what? Like, this does not feel like it's going to be a Mario movie. You know what I mean? It's gonna have Mario characters in it. It might have a Mario-esque plot, but this is not gonna be like a Mario feeling movie, in my opinion.
I just don't know what the dialogue is gonna be and how it's gonna be good. Like,
So, I watched like a stream of the Nintendo Direct, Eddie Burback stream,
Mhm.
and so it's him and his twin brother Tony that were on it. But they were talking like predicting that it's probably gonna be like almost like Space Jam, where it takes place in Mario, but like all the Mario characters have to like team up to defeat like a third party thing rather than like a
Yeah.
standard Mario like
Bowser
game
Bowser kidnaps Peach,
storyline.
Mario goes to get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the direction that most of the games have been going in recently anyway, is like everyone like Mario, Bowser, everyone just teaming up against some other third party thing. So you're probably right,
Mhm.
Joseph. Or they're right. Um, but it's just I just can't imagine these voice actors being these characters and like all interacting and it's looking at the screen and being like 3D animated Mario. Like, it's gonna be fucking weird as shit.
You're fucking Chris Pratt at the end of that.
Yeah.
Just ugh.
I just hope they don't try to do like Italian accents. I really
Yeah.
just don't even try. It's
Just
gonna be
just
so
do
bad.
normal Chris Pratt.
Yeah, like do not try to do that shit because it's gonna be offensive. I'm just gonna say that right now. It's gonna be offensive.
I'm so excited for Charlie Day as Luigi though. I think that's gonna be fucking hysterical.
That and Donkey Chris or Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong because his voice does not match Donkey Kong's body. Like,
It's gonna
anyway,
be so bad. It's gonna be so good. Like I
it's coming
just
out holiday 2022, so a little over a year. Buckle
I'm
up, y'all.
excited.
All right, Gabe, why don't you intro your topic and I pray you get it out of your mouth before your computer dies again.
Oh my God. I can't catch a break, dude. Like,
You should have swiped up Dayton's dumpster computer before he gave it away.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
as always, the story this week is software doesn't like Gabe.
Mm.
Yeah, this topic, I don't even know where I came up with it or originally thought about it because it's been a minute since I talked about it. But I guess the big thing that's been on my mind is getting too comfortable with the area or the place you're at, getting too complacent, uh, but at the same time, not getting too risk adverse to where you're like throwing something away that you have that's actually pretty good, you know? Trying to find that balance between um, something that is good for you, but not holding you back, is what I'm trying to say. So, a big reason that this kind of came up is talking about work and stuff, thinking about what I want to do next, where I want to actually be, where I want to end up, and all that fun stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I do really like about my job, and there's like some parts of Minneapolis that I find myself being like okay with now, or like starting to even kind of like. And it's like, am I just accepting that, or is it like something that I should push myself to try something new? So it's the overarching origin of that thought.
So, if I can ask,
Hmm.
what are you afraid of? Like, what are you scared? If you didn't change, let's say you didn't change your job or you didn't move
Yeah.
cities in the next, I don't know, however many years, what are you afraid of that outcome?
I don't know. I feel like right now, because I haven't moved or whatever, I'm in this weird unknown spot where like I don't know if the thing that I actually want, like think that I want now, is better, or if it's actually worse. And I would kind of like feel like I would regret it if I didn't even try. But at the same time, I'm like super comfortable now, and all this stuff like my job and whatnot like isn't bad, but it could be better. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Sure,
Grass is
but it's
always greener.
never. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say every episode we say it, the grass is always greener, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna come at this from the other side of the fence, where I think your grass is greener because I've been very uncomfortable lately, and that's kind
Mm.
of like what about last week of me switching down to a master's. For like the past, well, I'll say year, but like it was mostly after maybe say about 6 months. I've been very uncomfortable thinking about like I am not feeling super secure about my decisions, like my current path or my location. I would love to be way more secure. I'd love to feel better about where I am and where I'm going and all that stuff. Like I would love to be comfortable with a job in a city that I don't mind, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so I didn't say like what you're feeling is wrong, but it's just the classic grass always greener. Like yeah, I would love to be comfortable. And I'm not I wouldn't be I don't think I would be as afraid of missing out. I mean, I don't know until I get there, but like at this point, I'd just be happy to get anything, you know? So it's hard for me to think about like getting comfortable and then like, well, what
Yeah.
if this is other things better without, it's hard to know that stuff.
hmm Yeah, I definitely feel like the last, I don't know, 6 months or so at work. I mean, besides, it's such a bad week for me to like actually talk about this. I felt like super comfortable. I'm
Mhm.
like really close with a lot of people that I work with now, and like my managers and my boss. Like I'm in a very comfortable spot where like you know we goof off all the time, and but like we still get our stuff done, and it's like as long as you get your stuff done, they don't really like you can kind of do whatever and get away with whatever. And you can kind of get to try stuff you want to do. And I feel like the job that I have now is kind of special in that way, where like almost everybody on the team that I work with is super relaxed and pretty cool to get along with and talk to and other people. But at the same time, it's like I keep going back to like wanting to go to a place that has more like easily accessible nature. Um, so it's like, is that worth that risk or that sacrifice type of a
Right.
deal? So,
Dayton, what's your take on this? You've been in the same place and job for about 2 years now, right?
Yeah, a little over 2 years now. And I mean, it's definitely something that like I've struggled with in that like, especially recently, I've, I don't know, I feel like I've, in the past like 6 months, I would say I've gotten like very comfortable in my position where it's like, this is what I do. I know that I'm good at what I do. I have
mhm.
friends here. I know where everything is in town. Like, if I were to, like stay here for another like 10 years, I could see myself like I wouldn't if I let me put it this way. If I stay here for another 5 years, I don't think I would leave. Uh
Mm.
and that to me is the most scary thing. Is like
I feel the same
I
exact way.
it's like I don't want to commit to one place right now. I want to continue trying out new things. But the thing that scares me about doing that is leaving people behind. And I think I've talked about it before. Like, that's like the thing that I've struggled with the most in going to college is like leaving my high school friends and then leaving college, leaving all my college friends. And it's like leaving this job, it's like I would have to leave all my friends out here on top of all like my work friends and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And
Mm,
it's not even like the location thing that like sketches me out the most. It's like just having to like say like goodbye to all those people and like not
Mhm.
knowing when you're going to see them next, if ever.
mhm.
Right.
Then having to start at square one, right?
Which
Yeah,
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like yeah, it's rough because when you do get comfortable, like I don't know, I've heard that it does take around like 2-ish years, which I'm like a year, like 9 months, and I feel like I've definitely started to get pretty comfortable with where I'm at.
Mhm.
But also, like you were saying, like it's not like I don't want to like I don't like the idea of me being like stuck in one spot right now. Like I want to go to different places and see other places. So then like when I do decide, I'm like, okay, here's all the places I've been and tried or at least visited. So I have a pretty good consensus of like what spot I want to be at, you know.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you don't want to like lose your friends or like all the other perks, you know,
Right.
like that cool work environment that I do have when shit isn't hitting the fan or like having fun stuff to do around the city or whatever, you know.
Mhm.
It's just it's tough to know when to make the jump and when to stay. But I do think if I do stay for like 5 years, I'd be here forever.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know if
and
I like that.
that's what I wanted to ask of when does it end? When when is it the time to decide I'm going to stay here? Is it you reach when you find a place that you think, "Oh, okay, this is good," or is it when you get old enough and you're like, I don't feel the need to do that anymore. I'm okay here."
Mhm.
I mean, maybe, you probably don't know the answer to that question. I'm just
I
trying to think
kind of
about like,
think
yeah,
of them
but when
as
does
like
this end?
two different lines, right? Two different lines in the same graph where it's like, yeah, sure, like your willingness to like move around declines as you get older. But then for
Hmm.
me, it's like the longer that you stay somewhere, the less that you want to like move away as well. So like for me, the line where it's like the longer that I'm staying somewhere, that is like influenced by the people that I know there if I have a girlfriend there or like a significant other in that area, like anything that like really ties me to a location. And I feel like just as time goes on, you're just gonna stay. You're naturally gonna stay in some place longer than you are in others. Uh, and I mean, like we're like what 23, 24 years old at this point, so like we're all gonna start having like girlfriends at some point or another. Eventually, wives. I'm
We'll
I
assuming.
see.
like the optimism.
We'll see.
Only one of us is in a
I
relationship.
Yeah,
fucking hope
but
so, dude.
I don't know. It's not. We're not broken people, like it's gonna happen eventually.
I don't know,
I
Dan. I
have
look in the mirror every
7
morning.
kids and I smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get exactly what you're saying. Like right now, you're like the most like socially mobile, but even then, like even a couple years is plenty to like kind of set roots down. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
do you rip them out and see what other places are like? Like I don't
Right.
know. Like,
And
even if the next place I'm at is worse, I think I would like to know if it's worse. You know what I mean?
right.
And like staying in the one spot and be like, this is pretty good because it could be better, it could be worse, but I want to know.
Right. And for me, what I've realized is that with like my friends out here, a lot of them have talked about like moving away as well. And I think I've talked about on the podcast before is like it's just gonna take like one catalyst, like one
And
person
it's all gonna
to
fall.
just kick it off and just be like, "Yep, I'm out of here." And then like it's just like an interconnected like series of roots that you've placed there, and then it's like, "Oh, this person's leaving." And then it's like, "Oh, this person's leaving." And then before you know it, then you fucking fall over and then you're like, "All right, I guess it's time for me to leave."
Mhm.
So, I'm just kind of waiting for that, and honestly, I don't want to be the person on the tail end of that. I would rather be the person on the front end of it.
Yeah, you want to leave when you remember it being good, you know?
Yeah,
You
I
don't
don't
want to
want
be standing around like, fuck.
Like-
I
like
guess I
the-
have to leave now.
what is the John Travolta in what
Yeah.
is that Pulp
Pulp
Fiction?
Fiction?
Pulp
Yeah, when
Fiction,
he's like, huh?
Yeah.
He's just like looking around.
Honestly, I mean, I felt that way when I had like my last semester of school. Like, I mean, I still had a couple friends and a couple people like a year below me, but like, I mean, majority of my friends were gone. It's just like, it's not the same. Feels weird, you know?
Right.
It's not as fun. But
That's how I felt the summer after we graduated, and I was still in no house for
yeah.
that, and that sucked. Everyone was
Mhm.
gone. But Joseph, how are you feeling about this? Because you're in a position now where you are trying to get a new job, right? So how is that factoring into this conversation for you?
Well, as mentioned too, I do have a long-term girlfriend. We've been dating for over a year,
Right.
and I don't want to make that decision of like either, hey, you have to move with me, or we have to end or long distance, right?
Yeah.
Those are the three options, and neither one of them is necessarily the best.
You have
for
more
everyone.
roots.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I've because I currently am unemployed, I've had more opportunities to just go into the city. And I mean, I liked Minneapolis before, but I'm really starting to like love it in a way that I hadn't. Like just, being able to walk downtown on like a Tuesday at noon when like sure it's busy, but
Yeah,
it's
you don't have
not
the
like
commutes at
E-
fucking 4:30 where there's fucking
Ex-
stop and go every fucking time.
Exactly. I don't have that, but I can like walk on the Stone Arch Bridge, which is like a very popular like area, especially for tourists and stuff. Like it's just a cool view of the city, but it's just this footbridge. And I can just go on there and like there'll be like 20 people max on it, which is like unheard of on like a decent Friday afternoon or Saturday or whenever. So like there's aspects like that I'm really starting to like of it. But I don't know. I think Minneapolis to me is a good size where sure there's not nature right outside because right outside Minneapolis is cornfields. But like
All over, dude. It's so quick
There's-
to get into cornfields.
it is depressingly quick. Just how short the city truly is. But at the same time there's a very big airport to get us
Yeah.
anywhere. So like the accessibility of it, like growing up, I had like to get to an airport, we drove 2.5, 3 hours. So it was a whole ordeal. It's a 15-minute
Right.
drive, 15, 20 minutes, 30 if there's traffic, but like
Right.
it's usually not that bad. So like sure, it's not right there, but hell, we when we went to Jackson Hole, it was super easy getting. Like I mean, obviously we had to
Yeah.
like convince someone to drive us, and like getting to and from the airport was kind of a pain, but like wasn't that bad. It was not the biggest pain I've had to deal with
It's
traveling.
Yeah.
close enough for like worst case you can Uber.
Yeah, and I have Ubered, and
It's
it's like
super easy to lift to it in Uber.
yeah, it's like 20, $30 depending on the time of day. So like it's
Right.
not the worst.
Yeah.
So like that's really nice that, it's a big enough city. And like from what I've gathered from where Dayton's at, the city is built around where he works,
Pretty
kind of.
much, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, I don't have that. If, Dayton wants to leave where he's working, he's most likely going to have to move unless he wants to work at like Dunkin' Donuts, right? Which would be convenient because it's like 2 blocks away.
And you get the coffee.
Yeah, and you get the coffee. Um, but there's hundreds more companies that do what I'm looking at. So
Right.
that's I have more options being able to stay in this area.
Right. Right.
So I wouldn't call it comfortable to stay here or like complicit, but I could see myself being able to stay here and still find new things. Because
Right.
that's kind of the thing, right? Like I don't know, Gabe, you've kind of talked about moving to Bend, right? Bend, Oregon,
Pretty
which is
sick.
I've heard it's a really cool area, but like I don't know, we've also talked about going to like a couple different museums. Like I went to the Minneapolis Institute of Art. Like do they have museums there? Like, or like
Yeah.
just other things that you don't think about. Like, yeah, sure, you can go skiing for X amount of months and then mountain biking for these other months and XYZ outside, but like, I don't want to be outside every day. Like, I like being outside, but like, sometimes an art museum or, it's just like the list of those things that you
I
don't
feel
think
like,
about.
yeah, I feel like a lot
A
of that
church.
comes down to like what the individual values though too, for sure. Like
It's true.
art museums, like if they're nearby, like I haven't gone to one yet, but like I might if there's like a rainy day or something. But I would easily sacrifice that if it meant I could go mountain biking or snowboarding every day. Like that's more important to me. But that being said, I mean, there's
Yeah.
other things obviously that are super nice about being in a bigger city. The airport's super nice. You have a lot more infrastructure for other stuff, more soccer leagues or whatever
Yeah.
it may be that I'm trying to get into. I mean, there is, I don't know, if there's people who want to do it, there's usually a system for it, but it's a lot of give and take.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
not like completely
exciting.
like blinders on, like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
move to this place and, you know, I'm not gonna lose any of this stuff. Like it's just, I don't know.
Let me ask you guys
I want to
this.
know.
I want you to rank three things as factors of willingness to move considering these factors, if that makes sense. So either stay or move based on these factors, which is the most important to you. People, the amenities of the location, whatever that means to you, and work or career. So when considering a move or considering a stay, these three factors, how would you rank them in importance? For me personally, I realized that people's the number one thing. Like I need to be around people that I enjoy and care about. Work, second most important, and third is the location amenities because I can just stay inside all day. I can live doing that.
I
Sure.
think for me, it's people, amenities, work, which has
So like
significantly
yeah,
changed since college when I was
right,
like, I want to do this for work. And then I
right.
started doing it. I'm like, there's other things that are more important to me.
Yeah. I think while I do enjoy my job, work's definitely bottom for me. But people and amenities are really close for me.
Hmm.
For now, I almost want to say amenities be number one. But I'm also like really lately been trying to push to meet new people and see how hard it really is. So I don't really know
Yeah. When I say
what
people, I
the
mean like
number is.
people you already know or people that are your roots, like we were talking about. Like not necessarily the
Yeah,
potential to meet people. I'm talking about people that could like keep you or somewhere or make you go somewhere.
sure.
And yeah, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but based on how you've been talking a lot for the past however many months, it sounds like amenities is like number one
Yeah,
for you,
I would do that as number
which is
one.
totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joseph, what about you?
I'd probably do. I'm gonna throw it up on end and say work first, only
Mm,
because I've worked a shitty job that didn't really like me and I didn't like it. And I'm not gonna stay or move because of that for sure, or like I am gonna stay or move because of that. Like
right.
I'm not gonna, I don't know. Like that sucked and
You're not
that's
gonna settle for like a really shitty job.
yeah, like
Yeah.
if I have to do that every day, you know,
Mhm.
that's I don't know, that's not something I want to subject myself to. And then
Right.
amenities and people. Because especially after you said like people being people you already know and like a support group and stuff, that can be built up. Obviously, it takes time and effort,
Hmm.
but it can be built up. And amenities, that's a close second, I will say, to work
Hmm.
because that is not something that you can really build up. It's either there, or it's not. But
Yeah.
but I think if I'm gonna move, it's probably gonna be because I found a good job somewhere,
Right.
rather than because oh I know a bunch of people there or
Yeah. I took work more of like push your career, climb the ladder type of a thing. Like
yeah
work's work. Like as long as I don't wake up want to die every day, like it's not worth it. Like there's gonna be days where you push, which
yeah
is gonna
Mhm.
be this week. I mean, this week sucked, but it's been the first bad week I've had in close to a year. So I realized like it'll be over, and it's
Well,
not
and
the
all
worst.
these responses are based on our past experiences, right? I'm
yeah
playing People First Club because I've been very lonely lately. Like,
hmm
I mean, I have lists here. I have people I talk to here, but it's that, like that feeling of loneliness is like pushing me to be like, okay, I want to be around people I know and like again. It's like my number one thing. Whereas like Joseph had a really bad experience, so he's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's my most important thing is make that better experience. Like
yeah
this is all based on our own stuff. But I'm
What
glad we
a
finally get some diversity on the podcast and responses.
completely reasonable. Yeah,
Wait, did we all have separate answers?
I think so.
Pretty much. I mean, me and you were the same Dayton, but it was like close. And there's only three options, so it can only be so different.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
there's what
it was
9
good.
9.
yeah there's
Yeah,
9
but like we had
possibilities
of all the three things that could be first, they were first
yeah
for somebody. All three were first.
yes
Yeah, and like yeah, and for that reason of me being people first, I'll probably. I mean, when I finish up here, I'll go back to Minneapolis first thing and try to hang out there for a bit, just to like be around all meet Gabe, Joseph, high school friends, family again,
Mhm.
and hopefully be able to stay there for a minute and find a job or a remote job even, just be able to live there. Um, but yeah, I mean, all those things will change over time, and like yes, I don't know when we will decide. All right, I'm good now. I'm either old enough or this is good enough, or I'm deciding, or this is where I'm gonna stop moving around. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Who's to
it was
say?
another year. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. As always, please find our show on YouTube and podcast services. Give us a subscribe on YouTube as well. I always talk about following our Instagram and Twitch. Subscribe to our YouTube. We got 25 subs. That hasn't changed in who knows how many months. So help us out on YouTube as well.
many
Um,
moons
many moons. But yeah, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.